All right, so I know this is going to be a little bit of a different video, but I promise it's going to help you guys understand YouTube so much better. I'm going to explain to you guys why starting off with little to no views is actually one of the best things that can happen to you. And honestly, the things that need to be done at the beginning phases when you're not getting views that are going to be instrumental to your future success. So a bit of a crazy one, but I promise all of you need to watch this, especially the beginners out there, because again, if you don't have this information, if you don't have this mindset, it's going to lead to you probably not being able to go too far because you're not doing the right things at the beginning. So guys, without further ado, let's get right into it. So this is what I call the invincible advantage principle. All right. Why starting now is how you can win. Even if you get little to no views, don't take that as a negative thing. All right. 2025 channels are not really about chasing viral views, not at the beginning. The beginning is instrumental to your success. You have to do the right things in the right order. The big winners are focusing on systems, monetization alternatives, and authority that 99% of creators are just overall missing. All right. The problem is lack of systems, poor monetization strategies, and just overall missing the authority, right? This is all built in the beginning, the fundamental stages. So right now, guys, most people see views as the currency of YouTube, right? But views without systems is just empty numbers, all right? You're just looking at vanity metrics, an arbitrary number, which is really just meaningless, all right? I've personally worked on multiple Faceless channels myself. I've worked with over 1,000 of my own students, and the same pattern consistently repeats itself, all right? The people who optimize foundations make far more with fewer views, all right? I'll explain and elaborate everything, I promise, all right? So for example, a student at 20K subs makes more than one at 100K subs. How is this working? Now, how does that exist? How can somebody who has 1/5 the amount of subscribers, 1/5 the channel size, make significantly more than a larger channel? Well, because the foundation was built very differently, all right? The thing that makes his channel different than the competitors is not the views, it's not the subs, it's not the likes. It's instead of the channel is a machine that compounds revenue, while others are like a treadmill that just look busy, but they don't really move forward. This happens a lot, all right? The thing is that across all the hundreds of students that I've worked with and coached, I've noticed that every single student goes down one of these two different paths, right? You may be on one, you may be on the other. The first one is what we call the rusher, all right? You see an early spike in views, you get excited, and you keep pumping out content. Personally, I think the worst thing that can happen to somebody, anybody, is that they go viral right away. If you go viral right away, you by default go down the path of the rusher. You get super excited and you just keep up posting more and more content without actually realizing what you're doing or what you're not doing and trying to optimize and being thorough and diligent with your content and trying to have a real strategy. You don't do that stuff because you've gotten views. You assume you're just going to keep getting views. So you have no workflow. You have no monetization strategy. You have no consistency, right? You burn out because the output isn't sustainable and the income doesn't match the effort, right? So you get this quick win, this quick dopamine fix that's not sustained because you're not going to keep on getting more viral videos right away because you don't know what actually happened to make that video go viral. So you can't replicate that process. When you can't replicate that process, videos don't go viral, you get disappointed, you end up quitting, right? This happens so often, right? So I always have to deal with people when they get early wins, dealing with this or becoming a rusher and just not doing things correctly. So we have to default everyone back to the builder. All right. You start small, maybe 100 to 200 views per video. That's normal, guys. That's great. To be a brand new channel, getting 100 to 200, 300 views per video, that's fantastic, guys. If you're getting that right now, you're on the right track. If you're getting even more, you're doing exceptionally well, all right? Instead of chasing numbers, you spend time creating systems, creating script templates, voice consistency, getting the brand avatar in, focusing on different monetization funnels. That's the stuff you want to do in the beginning, right? Small steps in the dark. The first 20 videos you have are like the training ground. By video 50, you've built a machine that compounds results. Now, of course, some channels can get really consistent, can build a strong foundation within 10, 20 videos. But again, using that time to strategically build up monetization platforms, getting a real brand avatar and persona in place, really optimizing your scripts, your hooks, your body, your pattern interrupts, like all these different factors that consistently help you make your videos go viral. That's what's important. That's when you really have a channel optimized, which you can then later scale to more channels. Until you have all these fundamentals done, you shouldn't be scaling to more channels. Start small, create your systems, create your training videos to help your team do more of what you're doing and take away more time from you so you can go scale more channels and then you can compound results. All right. All of this looks like this, right? The rusher builds a tent. Looks great on day one, but then it collapses with the wind. Now the builder obviously lays bricks slowly, ends up building a skyscraper. Be the builder. Now you must be asking yourself, like, why does a revenue gap exist, right? When both channels are getting the same amount of views. This is the key, guys. Most creators assume that more views automatically means more money, but not all views are weighed the same, right? Because there's something called low system channels, which rely only on AdSense, meaning your RPM overall will be $3 to $5 per thousand views. But then there's high system channels that use AdSense, but they also stack on affiliate offers, digital products, etc., which increases your RPM, not from YouTube, but from alternate external monetization systems you've put in place, meaning fewer views can equal more income. Now, also there's other ways that we use, which is picking better topics, right? More specific topics, also creating longer videos. There's different things internally that we can do with YouTube to get compensated more for the same video, right? So for example, these two videos have around the same amount of views, but one gets paid significantly more and one gets paid significantly less, which means the same effort, the same video can yield thousands of dollars in difference, right? So once you start worshiping view count and looking at this view count as if it's the all-saving grace to your channel and really treating it like every video is a revenue-generating engine, not a lottery ticket, you will start making significantly more money instantly, all right? So here's why starting off with no views is actually a good thing, guys, because this is when you can build your secret weapon. All right, with no audience watching, you're free to experiment, right? With no pressure, you can fail quietly and learn fast. With no expectations, you can build workflows without judgment. All the stuff you should be doing, the preliminary work, right? The private victories, the stuff when you're staying up till 2 a.m, building systems and no one's looking, and then all of a sudden you have this butterfly from the cocoon that's flourished from all your hard work. I'm not saying you have to stay up to 2 a.m. I'm saying there's stuff that you should be doing in the beginning, the preliminary stuff that equips you with the systems and automation so you can literally turn this thing into a passive income machine that it is, right? If you skip to the end, you're going to have an unsustainable, unscalable business. All right. I'm going to break everything down individually because maybe some things you just didn't fully understand. I want to give you a very in-depth understanding, right? So the first thing I call the AI laboratory effect. You're small, unnoticed stage, right? It's a lab where you can kind of test tools without the fear of somebody judging you or wasting anything. You know, you can try 50 different AI voices. You can clone your own voice. You can even build multiple avatars, see what sticks, experiment with different humor, pacing, narration, storytelling styles, different workflows with editing, thumbnails, prompts, everything until you've built a repeatable pipeline. Now, by the time you end up hitting 10K subs, you have an optimized lab testing system that others just can't replicate because they were too afraid to experiment in public, right? There's the same thing I have also referenced. If somebody's wanting to build a personal brand, should they do it on a brand new account or should they do it on an existing account with your friends and family who follow? I think you should transfer over to a brand new account because even if you say, okay, I don't care what my friends and family think, I'm building my business, I don't care if they judge me. Even if you think you won't subconsciously, you will. And you will never try and post the content that you would love to post or would want to post or need to post because subconsciously you're worried they're going to judge you. So the best thing you can do is start fresh. So in this case, it's kind of the same situation. You want to be able to do things when nobody's watching, the stuff you should be doing, that you don't have any kind of sense of worry or judgment that's at the back of your mind that's resisting you from doing what's necessary, right? So big creators are like airlines. They can't just suddenly change their plane mid-flight, right? You are a testing pilot in an empty hangar. You'll be left with a well-crafted channel that's tested all possible avenues and what works and what doesn't for your channel so that you guys can just literally scale comfortably without any hiccups. The second one is strategic timing window. Very important. All right. The best time to start and practice is when nobody's watching, right? Your first 20 videos are going to be your tuition lessons that accelerate mastery. They're kind of throwaway videos. Now you might go viral. You maybe will go viral, but they're still considered throwaway videos. You should be using those videos intentionally to practice different things, to test new things, and to find out what works and what doesn't, right? Waiting for perfect equals paralysis. Publishing messy first attempts, that's getting fast feedback, right? Even top creators like Mr. Beast, they created 100 identity videos, right? 100 crappy videos to try and find out what works, what doesn't work, what does his audience respond to correctly, what do they not like? And through those 100 videos, he created a criteria, right? A plan, a deep understanding of what his wants and needs are of his audience. And now he just creates more and more content that converts because he did that stuff, right? Every video you hold back waiting for perfect is compounding the opportunity that you're losing. All right, one of my students is his first post. You can see 170 views, 200 views, 151 views. Now he's getting thousands of views, right? Even tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views on this channel, all right? So this is the key. The next thing is the 2025 market gap. This gap exists, guys. We are in a rare moment where AI tools are maturing enough to be powerful, but most creators are using them lazily, like so lazily, like not understanding the potential and using them completely incorrectly. Lazy creators will just copy and paste AI scripts. They'll use default cheap voices and they will churn generic content and try and recreate it, do nothing different. All right, small creators use AI for speed, leverage, but add human touch, research, personality, and brand identity. I talk about this all the time. Add a brand identity, right? YouTube's own leadership has admitted they're pushing new channels harder and harder in 2025 to fight spam and keep fresh content flowing. If you guys aren't aware, YouTube for the first time in years, like probably a decade, is prioritizing brand new channels. Get on a brand new channel. Get on YouTube. There's an advantage that exists now that never existed before. That combined with all the AI tools and all my free information out there that literally can guide you into the right niche with the right strategy, with the right teams, the right content, there's no excuse to not make money on YouTube. There's literally no excuse. Just sheer laziness is the only thing preventing you from making this kind of money online. All right, seriously, it's unbelievable, the opportunity. So guys, even with little to no views when you're starting on YouTube, it doesn't really matter. The only cost that actually matters is the cost of waiting, because every day you delay, you miss algorithm boosts for new creators, which exist. You lose the gap of mastering AI, right? And you rob yourself of invisible compounding through sheer practice. Guys, systems are built in the quiet stage, not the spotlight. By the time people are watching, it's too late to start experimenting. Just like investing late in real estate means you miss the boom, right? So waiting for channels is like buying up houses after the neighborhood's already built. It works, but you missed out the boom. You missed the opportunity, right? And every video you publish online is like a digital tenant. Every workflow you have is equity that you're building, and every system is compounding interest. Don't make the mistake that everyone does, which is to treat YouTube like lottery. Maybe something works, maybe something doesn't, right? Treat this thing like digital real estate. You can get consistent hits on your content every single time if you know what to post, if you know who your avatar is, and you put yourself in the right strategy with the right niche. All right? Guys, I believe in you. You have all the tools at your disposal to succeed. If you want more information, if you want a full course, you want to go live with me where I can audit your channel, audit your content, and guide you guys to success, and you want a community of like-minded people, I highly recommend you guys click the first link in the description. It's going to take you to my free school community. It's free, where you guys can hang out with over 7,000 people who are doing YouTube as we speak. I'll see you guys in the free school community. I'll see you guys on my next video, which is if you want to click right here, it's my top 25 niches that I've handpicked for you guys, since I always get so many questions, so many requests to do niches. If you want 25 of the best niches that are working right now, click this video. I'll see you guys there.